the Rock and Roll Insurance Guy podcast with your host, Albert Munoz.
What's up, Hollywood?
The show starts now.
Mr. Matt Palmquist, how are you, sir?
What's going on, Albert? Hollywood, what's up?
Big man, Mr. 610 himself. How are you, sir? I hope you are doing well. I hope you have a wonderful day. Sorry, a couple of things just fell here. But anyway, all is good here on the south side. I hope everything is well in your neighborhood. And yeah, I see your background. It looks lovely. Where are you at right now, if you don't mind?
I'm in Texas.
Okay.
I'm enjoying the hill country. I am actually on a safari looking for Gracie the giraffe that has been lost in the hill country. She escaped her kind of ranch here in the hill country. She's making national news. She is an adult giraffe that is roaming the Texas hill country right now. So I am looking for her.
Wow. Well, more power to you, my friend. Recently, my sister and I and the kids, when was it? Like a week or two before school went out, and instead of going to the Gladys Porter Zoo in Brownville, we went up area or something. And we went to this farm where they had giraffes and rhinos and zebras, and you can feed them. Peacocks. Yeah. Oh, my God, it was crazy. Wildebeest.
Yes.
So, wow, man. I guess
that's
you're
where she might have escaped from.
That is beautiful. That is awesome.
Yeah. So talk to me. What's going on, Albert?
Yeah.
This is episode 2 of the Rock and Roll Insurance Guy podcast. Let's strum it, man. What are we talking about today? I know, it's a rock and roll insurance podcast, so I'm sure we're going to be talking about a little bit of sound today. And how about listening? I think listening is important. I think you brought up a couple of good topics off air. So let's get into it. Let's get this show started.
Yes, sir. Let's get it started. So, as you know, I speak professionally, and sometimes it's kind of like being on a Match.com profile. You just want to tell the truth and walk away because you know what? We don't have time to waste. After a while, it's more like a job interview or some kind of a credit analysis when you go on a date as a single person. And it's like, you know what? I'll just tell you this, that, and whatever and whatnot, and let's go on to the next thing. So It's about not wasting time, giving people fact, what they want, what they need. Now, if they don't know what they want and what they need, then we do something called the financial analysis through a life insurance calculator and a fact finder. Put you on file. We contact every 3 to 6 months, depending on what you want, what you need. Annual reviews are very imperative. It's great that you know what you have and how it works, okay? Especially with the ever-changing economy. Anytime we go from a Democrat to a Republican. Now, I'm not an economist. I'm not a political scientist. This is just common sense based on trends that we've seen in the economy and history.
Yep.
Okay, just look, every 20, 30, 40 years, the economy we go from a Democrat to Republican, gas prices go up, Middle East conflict, resolution, money. Okay, in most cases, that's what we look at, cycles, trends. So what we're trying to do is catch that wave, and that's what we want to do. So with that being said, it's all about truth and fact. Give us what we want, get us what we need, we'll get you what you want, what you need. And that's why we do a financial analysis on everybody. So every once in a while, not every once in a while, every Thursday, I dedicate that one whole day, part of Saturday too, and sometimes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for about an hour or two. You're always on the phone. The more people you're in front of, the more people you can help. How do we help? By educating. People don't know the difference between Medicare and Medicaid. People don't know the difference between Medicare A, B, C, and D, or a Medicare Advantage plan and a Medicare supplement.
Okay.
People are being misled on the phone because they get a phone call. Oh, it's so-and-so, and they answered, and it's AI, and they're telling them, oh, this and that, and whatever and whatnot. Oh, let me change plans. They'll switch plans with a person in a heartbeat over the phone. But me, I'm in your house or you're in my office doing a fact finder, insurance calculator. You've given me your date of birth, your email, all the vital information, and for some reason, you're afraid to take the next step. You called me on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, saying, hey, man, I really need life insurance. Give me a call, give me a call, give me a call. I called them 1 o'clock Monday after all my corporate meetings were done. Yeah. And I squeezed them in between my 1 and my 3 and my 5 on Monday, and I did it again on Tuesday at 1:30. So I contacted him so many times. Finally, I knew that I was not going to get this person on the phone again just because of the tone of voice. When somebody picks up the phone, I can tell right away. They're in a hurry, they're upset, they're this or that. Use that to your advantage. Sorry, sorry I bothered you, Mr. So-and-so. This is Albert Munoz from the insurance company. Please give me a call at your convenience. I would like to set up an annual review. This is not a sales call. And you can Google me. National producer number, 17280079. My license number is, 1917348. So if I make if I'm self-employed as a financial professional and I cannot lie or misrepresent, coerce, mislead, or rebate of any kind, then how is it that people are, poaching my clients? How can they poach my clients? When I have to be licensed, and I have to renew my license every 2 years, I got to do Medicare every 6 to 9 months, I got to do ACA every 6 to 9 months, and we have constant training and certifications with all these different products, with the S&P 500 and IULs, and oh my God, it's crazy. So we are like a library. You want life, we got life. You got dental, retirement, 401, 403, 457s, annuities, group plans, individual plans. We are a full service insurance company. So I say that to say this. When you have somebody that has a license and they have an office and you come to their office, why would you not, after calling them 4 or 5 days, not electronically sign an email application that says, hey, you know what? We're going to submit an application. No payment is needed at this time because this is just an application.
Well, let me ask you this. I don't mean to interrupt, but maybe let me ask a question because maybe some of the audience might have this. Why do you think that is? I know that you're explaining the process and you're there for them to help them. So why is it, why are they not appreciative of the help or the time or the effort that you're putting in? But why do you think that people are more willing to sign over everything to an AI bot versus Albert Hollywood Munoz, the rock and roll insurance guy that's sitting in the living room, that's actually listening to them and their needs and has solutions for the help? Why do you think that is? What has kind of been your assessment of, why is somebody easy to give it up to a robot than it is to an actual human being that genuinely cares?
Well, there's two answers to that. One of them I don't know. That's why I was telling you the story. So maybe you could shed some light on why I failed miserably today. But the answer, as a human being, aren't we all afraid of the unknown or disappointment or being diagnosed with something that you didn't know you had? And so when you get a life insurance, when you come to Albert Munoz and say, hey, dude, I need some life insurance, I go, okay, great. This application here is based on the information you gave me. Okay, so everything here is true. I'm going to turn it into them. They're going to assess all your records and they're going to create, they're going to see if that quote that I gave you, $20 for $100,000 is good. If we get blood and urine and you come back extra healthy, we'll give you a discount. Instead of paying $20, you'll be paying $10 to $15 for $100,000. But if you come back undiagnosed and we didn't know you had diabetes, automatic decline. However, if you have diabetes and you show that it's controlled, you might pay a little bit more, but hey, you have coverage. But it's less expensive than 2 months from now or a month from now applying because the cost of insurance goes up on a daily basis. If you own a life insurance policy, whether it's whole life or universal, since that monthly premium you're giving is split to two ways, cash value and cost of insurance, you can call every day this week and say, hey, Mildred at 1-800, how much is my cash value today? Oh, based on the current interest and your monthly premium, you earned so-and-so much today. You call tomorrow, it's the same thing. $1.50, $2, $3, something. Whatever it is, that's what it is. So every time that you get older, you're closer to death. Therefore, the cost of insurance goes up. And your cash value starts to go down. So even though you're still paying anywhere from $100 to $200 a month, you're losing cash value over a long period of time.
Oh.
So that's the way universal products work in whole life. But the point that I was trying to make is that we went through all of that trouble to fill out a fact finder and an insurance calculator. It takes 5-10 minutes. What takes a long time is getting that person to trust you and listen to you and understand why you're there.
Yeah.
So once you get that information, then you put it on an application. Just because you put it in an application does not mean it's, oh, you're going to pay today, you're issued tomorrow, great. No, this is like an investigation of sorts. You turn in the application, they review it, they come back to me and say, hey, Albert, the blood and urine was great, everything was good, go ahead and issue it. They'll be paying anywhere from $20 to $100 a month. It's a flexible premium, and you have $100,000 in cash value, in face amount, with an increasing amount, meaning that every payment you make, it grows cash value to your face and your little pocket on the inside. But you have to watch your cost of insurance every 6 to 12 months. That's how a universal policy works. Anyway, so I was trying to get him into either term or whole life or universal, because he told me, I want universal. I want you to see what you can do. So I went through all the different things. I had all these quotes based on one thing, his age of 44 that I got from him so I can tell that maybe as a salesman I messed up. I should have gotten more information because I knew he was in a hurry. But the point that I'm trying to make is that when somebody submits an application, that doesn't mean you're paying right away. You don't pay until the policy gets issued and you have to sign for it. From that day that you sign for it, it is active. So now that they've received payment and you've signed for it, it is active. So if something happens to you, whether you made one payment or 1,000 payments, you have coverage. So with that said, once I get the actual hard copy thing, I send it to Mr. Palmquist, and Mr. Palmquist, this is for you, sir. This is your policy. Keep it in a safe place for you and your beneficiaries know where it is. Anything happens to you, you call me. Don't call the funeral home. Don't call the hospital. Call me. Because the funeral home, and excuse my language, they will try to screw you out of money. That's a whole nother podcast, another day. That's
a whole nother episode, huh, Hollywood?
That's a very touchy subject because I hate to see my clients get screwed because they call the funeral home first. So anyway, once we get this policy in your hands, and you say, thank you, I made one payment, 30 days from today, you can say, you know what, Mr. Munoz, I don't need it, brother. I'm going to keep the other policy I got. Thank you. Goodbye. God bless. No problem, Mr. Palmquist. Thank you, sir. We give you a refund, and guess what? You had that policy for 60 days with only one payment for free. So you get to decide whether or not you want to keep it. It's getting the policy issued or getting that application to become a policy that is time consuming, especially when the clients or the patients leave out information. They'll tell the nurse, oh, I drank beer last night and I'm diabetic. But they'll say, oh, no, I don't drink, I don't smoke. And I'm putting all of that on the application. So when I submit it and boom, we get a hit. Hey, Albert, you're lying. That's a red flag. It makes me look bad. So again, I cannot lie in my profession. So that's why it's important to just tell the truth and say, hey, you know what? I'm a smoker. I did this, I did that, because there's products. For people that smoke, there's insurance. For people that have diabetes, there's insurance. For people that have been rejected, life insurance, there's insurance for that. We have everything. The thing is that people always hear from their neighbors. They hear from their coworkers, and they believe that. But they won't believe the guy with a license.
Yeah.
Because people are afraid to be vulnerable. People are afraid
I totally get that. I can see that. Yep.
You know? So people are afraid to be vulnerable. People are afraid to be proven wrong, or maybe they don't feel that they have enough insurance, or they did a bad job. And I think people are afraid to be vulnerable or to show you, hey, I live in a gated community and I live paycheck to paycheck. That's a very common thing. 65% of the, and I'm exaggerating. I don't remember Miss Chelsea's statistics because she's a financial advisor, and I met her in San Antonio. She says 65% or 55% of all is paycheck to paycheck in the United States of America, regardless of tax bracket. You could be a millionaire. You could be a thousandaire. You're still living paycheck to paycheck. That is not financial freedom. Financial freedom is having, first of all, living modestly, not investing in depreciating assets, and being humble. Help others when you can help, and you'd be surprised what comes around. But to be living extravagantly and then boom, you get hit by another COVID. I'm living my life like it's still COVID, because you don't know what's going to happen again. Look what happened in 2007 and 2008. Look at that.
Oh, the housing market. Yeah.
Look at the gas prices right now, man. We went from $2.98 to $3.41 to like $4.55 in 3 days. Mm-hmm. So what I do as a financial advisor, I fill up my gas every half tank. Now it's 3/4 tank. And I try to work from home as much as I can, but I got to meet clients at their offices. I got to do presentations at the schools. I got to go see the people at my office, and I got to visit clients at funeral homes and hospitals. Now, you tell me, what insurance does that? Agent, broker, nobody. Why do I do that? Because that's what I would do if I needed it. Because keep in mind, I'm asthmatic and I have diabetes. Nobody cares. Nobody cares when you get sick. Everybody's like, hey, call me if you need anything. You call them, they don't answer. I'm like, okay, I'll just drive myself to the ER. So anyway, that's how it is. But at least I have insurance. But
do you have the Uber app? Do you have the Uber app? Because you get.
Oh yeah.
Uber app, yeah.
Yeah, but see, the thing is with the Uber people, they kept my garage door opener.
Oh my gosh.
And I called them and I said, hey, I left my garage door opener. I'll even give you $20. Come back. Nothing.
Oh no. Oh man. That's a story for another episode, but
that's season 2, baby.
Season 2. When the Uber driver has Albert's garage door opener, right? Yeah. So
I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
No, I was going to say, so you could tell, I mean, obviously with your passion that you've been, talking, you could tell that you care about your clients. Like it's forthright. Like it's right in front of us, right? What do you think? What do you see as you mentioned kind of the fear of like disappointment or like being told no or shame or whatever? Like, what is it that you see in the industry that's keeping people, like young people, from, how you said we're one day closer to death every day, right? And it kind of does that. What do you think it's keeping the young people from saying, hey, I probably should get started sooner than later when you're middle-aged and you're trying to figure the world out and you feel kind of like, like what is keeping that young person from saying, hey, I need to think with the long term in mind?
I think it's a couple of things. Definitely a lack of life experience. So let me put it this way. Since we're talking about life, let's talk about life and why I'm single. To me, true loss is when you love something more than you love yourself. When you love something unconditionally, wholeheartedly, and you just want to love that person because, hey, that's life. That person makes you happy. Yep. Their happiness is your happiness. Now, I don't care if they love me back. Love is love, right? So with that kind of absolute, you feel that you have a certain kind of empathy. So it's not until you've experienced so many bad things in life that you appreciate the good things. That's part of the reason I'm single. I'm nobody's second choice. Number 2, Number two, if I'm not your first choice, I'm not any choice. But number two, I want to say that as a human being, you know when you're sleepy, you know when you're hungry, you know when you're tired. And you can say, hey, I'm hungry, I'm tired. Why can't you say, hey, I have romantic feelings for you, or hey, I don't like you, or you're not my type? That's a whole lot better than stringing somebody else along. That's another reason that I'm single. But I say all of that to say this, is because there's a harsh reality called life. And until people really experience loss of whatever kind, they don't appreciate
Yeah,
anything good in their life. That's why women between 35 to 40 years old are barely getting their act together, looking for a good guy that's 48 to 50 years old, like me and Matt. I'm nobody's second choice. I was flirting with you when you were 25 years old, before you were jaded and angry. It's not my
yeah,
job to fix somebody else's mistake. I'm here to prevent it, whether it's financially through insurance. But people wait too long, and they, the old saying, when the stuff hits the fan, some people want to put it on high. I would rather it prevent it hitting the fan, because nothing, again,
agreed,
like regret, is more expensive. Okay,
agreed.
because if you can prevent something, prevent it. And I think that a lot of people just let stuff happen, and then they say, oh, look what happened to me. I tried to fix it and I couldn't, so I'm going to quit. No. Part of management in your life, in your finance, in your business, in your job is preventing BS, avoiding the BS, maneuvering through it and saying, what can I do to not come out of here angry and jaded so my negativity doesn't affect other people? And so many times in our personal relationships, that kind of thing affects you. As a man, you're always on. As a business owner, you're always on. As a father, you're always on. So you could be watching the Boston Celtics or the Dallas Cowboys, and you're like this. And you're like, oh, look, he's having fun. And in your mind, you're more stressed out than you've ever been in your life, because it's always about finance and your family's well-being. So that's part of the reason that I think that a lot of people wait too long. They just don't have enough life experience. A lot of people still have both their parents. A lot of people, their parents are not divorced. A lot of people still have their parents right now that are still alive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to affect the way you think and grow. And you're like, you know what? I need to get me some life insurance. What a lot of people don't understand. Let's just go back to me in high school. I graduated high school. I had a job. I got my paycheck. What do I do with this paycheck? I could go buy a box of donuts and just do stupid stuff. Or I could go down the street and buy a life insurance policy and start my estate. And you're like, how does that happen? Well, in the state of Texas, you can create an estate simply by purchasing a life insurance of any kind. So if you just got out of high school, you're still living at your house with your parents, you're going to start college, and you get $200-300 a week, you can buy yourself a very inexpensive life policy, term, whole life, universal, because you're 18 years old. And if you buy a policy of $250,000, that is the value of your estate. Your estate is everything you own. The car you drive, your guitars, your t-shirt, your clothes, your comic books, and your life insurance policy. That's your estate when you're 18 years old. So that's why
Now,
I think
is a term life insurance policy part of your? Can it be your estate? The value of that term
yeah,
policy is the value of your estate.
in addition to whatever else you own. So if you have a
Okay.
policy that's worth $300,000, whether it's a term or a universal or a whole life, that life policy that you have, specifically a term, 300,000, that is the foundation of your estate. So if your house is paid off, you own it, that's also in your estate. Your cars, your comic book collection, your memorabilia, your land,
Your
your whatever that you
guitars.
own,
Yeah.
your guitars, all of that is your estate. Your estate is everything you own. So when people say, oh my God, you think you're rich, you're talking about your estate. No, dude, I'm talking about my house, my car, and my 20 guitars. That's my estate in a nutshell. Okay?
Okay.
Whatever you own, in addition to your life insurance, is your, what do you call it? Your, my mind went
Your
blank here.
estate. Your
Your
estate. Yeah.
estate. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you. So yes,
hey,
that's what it
I
is.
know, I know it's been a long day. This has been a great episode. We've got like 4 minutes left. Um, kind of leave the audience on a high note. Like we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about the sound.
Sure.
We talked about listening, and we talked about helping people. And obviously, you got into how people see or how your estate is valued, right? And the importance of starting early. So in these last 3 or 4 minutes, leave the audience with what you want them to leave with, and then kind of what is the word I'm looking for? Um, Intrigue us with what's coming up for episode 3.
Okay. Well, this podcast is all based about 2 or 3 things. One of them is education, information based on fact and state law. We're not here to promote any one carrier or any one product. We're just here to promote fact because there's an overwhelming amount of information out there. The other thing is that we want people to know that we're here to help, and whatever you can do to help others, hopefully people will take this energy and say, hey, you know what, I want to help somebody. Put my shopping cart back in the little corral at H-E-B or at Lowe's, or help that old lady across the street, or pick up a piece of trash in the hallway or something, something like that. Because it's kind of like that old saying that when you make your bed in the morning, it gives you that kind of feeling of you want to be or do more for others. And I think that's kind of contagious. So we can spread that kind of energy through rock and roll, happiness, and fact based on state law, and a culmination of friendships, of guests and yourself and I being here, man. I don't see why not. So let's just keep it positive. Let's look forward. Let's base it on fact. Let's avoid the BS. Let's turn off the fan and make sure it doesn't hit the fan. Let's avoid problems, drama, negativity, and just help one another. And
amen, brother.
And if we can be of help to each other, we're just a phone call and a text away. That's all I'm here to do, man.
And leave them with your phone number. How do they get in touch with you? You're the rock and roll insurance guy. How do they get in touch with you?
My phone number is 956-460-5431. You can call me and text me at any time. I'm always getting calls. Right now I'm getting calls, but I know that it's a spam call. But you call me, text me, say, hey, I saw your podcast. Matt's my friend, whatever. We're here to help.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep. Rock and roll insurance guy. Till next week, guys. Peace out.